We had a good childhood. You know, we're very active in sports and always competitive. Anything that was competitive, me and my brother were really into. Our whole family is pretty competitive, I think. I got into dancing when I was younger, you know, and I think dancing started giving me like a purpose, you know, and a passion when I was younger. I was around 12 years old, and I had a next door neighbor, you know, and they were just dancing, breakdancing, you know, and I just thought that was awesome. You know, I just saw people spinning on their head and just doing crazy stuff that I wanted to do. You know, it was challenging and it was cool. You know, that was the simple as that. It was just cool, and I wanted to learn, and I just started training with my next door neighbors, and then from there, from there I just got obsessed with it, and I guess it became breakdancing mixed with a little bit of like circus tricks. You know what I mean? No. Breakdancing is very competitive nowadays. You know, it went underground for a little bit, but it's never been dead. Breakdancing was always it's kind of like it's a dance, but it's also a sport. You know, and it's a competition sport. You can dance and just do it for the love of it and just for fun. You know, like a lot of people do jiu-jitsu just for fun, but there's also the competitive aspect of it, which is worldwide. You know, and there's events that you go and you compete. There's one-on-ones, there's crew battles, there's all sorts of different kind of battles, but it's a battle. You know, you go into war, you get that feeling, even though you're not making physical contact with people, it still hurts. I always liked attention, you know, I always liked to be that dude, but being in the spotlight when you're battling and breakdancing, it's kind of addictive. You know, at first I didn't really know what to think about it, you know, but once I did it, I got hooked. You know, and I got hooked to that feeling of being there in the spot and everyone's watching you and all that pressure getting to you. I liked it, you know, and at first I didn't really understand what it was, and as I got older, I kind of learned a little bit how to control that and how to embrace it. Breakdancing to me is, personally, it's harder than jiu-jitsu, you know what I mean? Breakdancing, there's no coaches, there's no teachers, it's all self-taught, you know, and jiu-jitsu and MMA, you get to follow people's patterns and you get taught, you know, and breakdancing, if you follow people's patterns, you're considered a biter, you know. So what's really important in breakdancing is to be original and to create your own stuff. So you really gotta put your personality, your own style into it. Plus the physical aspect that goes into it, there's no rules, there's no guidance to it. You gotta kind of make it up as you go, and it hurts because you're on hard floor. Breakdancing kind of opened me up to like yoga and opened me up to like all sorts of other dance, you know, that I could appreciate and incorporate to my body, my dancing. I never really did any other competitive sport. I mean, I played like football and basketball when I was younger and stuff like that, but nothing too serious. I guess like combat sports, I never really did anything till I started doing jiu-jitsu. You know, before that I was just breakdancing and maybe grappling with my brother and my friends. You know, we always did that, and I was always like honestly a big pro wrestling fan. You know, so of course as you know, teenagers and you know children, we're mimicking what we're seeing. You know, I was the king of sharpshooters. You know, I always felt once I started training jiu-jitsu or any MMA, I was gonna get into it. You know, because I saw the first time I saw it was a UFC. You know, just a UFC. I think it was like the first tough, the Ultimate Fighter, you know, the first one. I kind of seen it before a little bit, you know, like the old school ones, like Ken Shamrock and Royce and all that, but I never really got into it till I got a little older and I got to see the Ultimate Fighter. And once I saw that, I was like, wow, I could probably be good at that, but I thought it was too late because I was already a little bit older, you know, I was like 20 years old, I don't know, I was already older, and I didn't really understand it, you know. I thought you had to do something, to be good at it, you have to be doing it forever, you know. So I saw it through the UFC, and then I got introduced to Ryan, which he owns 10 Planet Vista. I got introduced to him through a fellow breakdancer that told him that we liked the UFC and blah, 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 you know, and he wanted to open up a dance studio for his kid, but he also wanted to make a jiu-jitsu gym, you know, a 10 Planet gym. So it was super random how I met him. It was almost like destiny, you know. And when I met him, he asked me if I wanted to train jiu-jitsu. If I could teach dance classes, he'll teach me jiu-jitsu. So, you know, to me, that was like the destiny calling me, you know, and telling me, yo, try it out. And I tried it, and just like breakdancing, I got hooked. And I'm the kind of guy, once I start something, I'm probably not gonna stop till I can't do it no more. The reason I fell in love with it was the challenge at first, you know. It was so completely new to me, and it was so challenging, difficult, because I was a beginner, you know, a white belt, and I felt that I got humbled, you know. And breakdancing, I felt I hit a certain, you know, standard, and I was in a certain level that I felt pretty confident, and you know, I kind of had a high ego. You know, I felt I was like the shit. And then once I did jiu-jitsu, brought me back to zero. You know, and that made me feel alive again. It made me feel hungry and inspired for a new kind of art. You know, and I tried it, and it you know, the sweat, the pain, the tiredness, all that together just made me love it. You know, it was hard, it was difficult, it was challenging, and I love the challenge of it, and I love the art of it. You know, once you see jiu-jitsu, it's like dancing. When you see it done right, it looks like a dance move, you know, and I saw the beauty in it, of course. You know, the beauty, the movement of jiu-jitsu, it reminded me a lot of dancing, the fluidity and the, you know, the passion in it too, you know. In jiu-jitsu, you can only do so much, you know. I haven't accomplished it, but you know, once you become a world champion and all that, like, what's next for you? You know, you have all that talent, what are you gonna do with it? Well, it makes sense to translate that into MMA. That's the evolution, I feel, the next evolution of a mixed martial artist. You gotta keep going with your journey, you know, and I believe my next journey, my next challenge, you know, I love challenges, will be MMA. You know, just like I started with dancing and then became jiu-jitsu, then what else is there? You know, I want to do as much as I can, and I don't want to hold myself back from, you know, any possibilities like of becoming a pro fighter. Who knows what, you know, who knows what could happen. I'm just down for the adventure and the challenge, you know. I'm very competitive, but like in a good way. I feel like I like to bring people around me up with me, you know what I mean? I challenge myself to be able to challenge other people and bring their game up as well, you know. If I was, I guess that's a weird question, but if you ask someone how I am, they would just say I'm very competitive and creative, and anything that I get challenged with, no matter what, I'm gonna give it all I can, and I'm gonna work as hard as I can. You know, I like to get things done. Anything I set my goal into, or anything I set my eyes into, I'm gonna try to accomplish as much as I can. I'm gonna give it all I can, whatever I have to do. And I like to work the hardest, just because I know there's people working hard out there, you know. And I guess I'm just a hard worker at the end. You know, I gotta try to be a dog and work as hard as I can. But then again, I like to remain humble. Even though I'm competitive, I like to remain humble, because you know, if you're just so competitive and always trying to win, you're not spreading good vibes. You know, you're always spreading negative vibes. But if you're competitive and then you lose sometimes, and you're okay about it because you know you're growing, then I believe people could respect that. You know, if you're humble, people respect that more from you. And I like to remain a little humble. You know what I mean? I like to always check myself, you know, check my ego, because sometimes it's out of control like anybody else. I'm only human, and sometimes, you know, my ego challenges me, and I gotta humble myself, and I take pride in remaining humble at times. Everyone that's around you is connected to you. You know, they're influenced by your decisions, which, you know, your emotions. You know, if you come into the gym negative with a bad attitude, you're gonna spread that, and people around you are gonna be negative with a bad attitude. But if you go in there and you just tell yourself, you know, I'm gonna have a great day today, and I'm gonna make everyone around me happy, then that's gonna happen, because you're gonna create it. You know, so your mentality, the way you think and you go into somewhere, it's gonna affect the whole day or your whole year. Who knows? You know. So you gotta definitely remain with a good attitude. You gotta spread it. How? Just simple gestures, or just being yourself, you know, and appreciating the people around you, and letting them know that you appreciate them. I think that helps out. And complimenting people, you know, you see something good, give them a compliment. You never know how the people are feeling, you know, and you can tell sometimes when people are feeling negative or are feeling down or negative. You know, if you see that, I like to go out of my way and maybe help them out and make them feel good, because that makes me feel good at the end, you know, and they're gonna make someone else feel good, and it's like a domino effect. It's just gonna go and go, and that's probably my state of mind when I walk in the gym. But you know, even me, sometimes I'm negative and I need people to come around and help me out too. Definitely changed me as a person. You know, I met a lot of people that I probably wouldn't meet, you know, older, younger, and I learned a lot of things that I didn't know. I think you meet a lot of interesting people throughout your mixed martial arts journey, and you know, if you're a sponge and you're willing to learn, you're gonna learn more than just moves. You know, you're gonna learn how to be a better person, you know, just through seeing all sorts of different people come in from different cultures, different life. It's definitely gonna rub off on you. You know, if you're a douchebag in a gym, everybody's gonna notice that, and it's gonna show who's a douche, you know. I constantly see changes amongst other people, you know. Just basic example, you know, you can see a guy come in here with no confidence, you know. Maybe a guy that's super shy, doesn't really have friends, you know. When he comes in here, he you know, he starts training a little bit, starts giving him some physical confidence, and then he starts, you know, socializing with the people around him, so it gives him kind of like a social confidence, you know. And I see that all the time, especially when guys start out, you know, they change, they blossom pretty much. You get to see them blossom, you know. And same with people that, you know, I just believe when people come and train around a bunch of other people, you get motivated, you get influenced to positive, or most of the time to positive influences. I think my biggest accomplishment right now would be, like, you know, our crew, the Freak Show, you know, which is, you know, it could be a company, it could be a crew, or it could be a family or a team, however you want to call it. But we've been together for about 13, 12 years already, you know, together as a family, as brothers, keeping each other together, focused on whatever it is, breakdancing, jiu-jitsu, MMA. You know, I'm proud of having friends like that, and family. They're always going to be there for me. You know, it's an accomplishment that, you know, it's going to be there forever. Forever. I can always call these guys my brothers, my friends. You know, and it's hard to meet really good people like that. You know, so I'm really proud of them. You know, I'm really proud of my crew, the Freak Show. You know, like, probably the only thing I could really cherish right now, like, that I could say that I represent, is the Freak Show. You know, that's me. That's who I am. Mad love to, you know, all the 10 Planet crews out there representing. You know, mad love to my crew, the Freak Show, Eddie Bravo, you know, Ryan Forden, for opening this up, you know, this dojo for me and my brother and my crew could, you know, train. And of course, like I said, Eddie Bravo, you know, he just welcomed us to 10 Planet with open arms, and, you know, our lives never been the same since. And, you know, he's like our dad, you know, in jiu-jitsu and MMA. Eddie Bravo, he definitely motivated us more and gave us that confidence that we needed to take our game to the next level. And freaks don't sleep.